Mrs. Marьyashi Groner is the co-director of Любавич of North Carolina and director of the Charlotte Jewish Day School. In 1976, as a high school student, she traveled to study in New York from Detroit, Michigan.
I was 16. I was already in Beis Rivka. I was in boarding at my grandmother's house, and I was a little bit rebellious, at least in my head. But I was really rebelling against whatever the expectations were of a young Любавич girl. I had a very strong upbringing by my parents, and I was really close to them. Wasn't afraid of them. I wasn't worried about censure from them. And so when I was talking to my father one day, I told him how I felt. And I told him I was really a little bit not interested anymore in the restrictions that our life was demanding of me. He did not overreact. He did not get upset. And he said, why don't you write a letter to the Rebbe? Tell the Rebbe how you feel. Ask for his guidance on what you should do. And I got a fairly lengthy answer. And when I got it, my father recommended that I write a report to the Rebbe every Friday to report to the Rebbe how I was doing. And this is what a teenager basically needs. Teenager needs somebody to stay in touch with and somebody to care. And pretty much for at least 3 or 4 reports, I got an answer every single time that I sent something in. Then after a while, the Rebbe weaned me off of that. But that's how he kept me on the straight and narrow. So the answer was, Amnam eina yadas she'etzel kol echad ve'echad yeshnai yetzer hara hamishtadel levalvala b'chol eifanim ha'efsharim ? Aval hiftachnu she'kol echad ve'echad HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he underlined twice, Ezra lemiskaber alav ubimeshach hazman tira shekol hapituyim lo haya bahem mamish klal. Al pizeh pashit shebeim chas v'shalom mipnei bilbul hayetzer chaser b'kiyum hamitzvah v'chulu harei zeh aveda v'hepech hasechel afilu b'nefesh habahamis v'kal lahavin. Oscar Alatian. And I lived with that answer for a while. I knew who the Rebbe was, and I knew the level of holiness the Rebbe stood at, and I knew that I was just a little compared to what the Rebbe's responsibilities were and the amount of people that the Rebbe took care of. And the fact that he even cared enough to read my letter, that he wrote me such a thorough answer, blew my mind. I mean, that just took me a while to really just absorb and process. And just because of that right there, I felt I owed him to really try to absorb that and see if that makes a difference to me. Just that, right there. He sent me a very loud message. He didn't tell me anything new, but we all know that when you hear it from the Rebbe in a sikha or in anything and you hear it again from his mouth, it takes root. So that's what it was.